empowered by Novex Finance. We got the crew here ready to talk about this market. The pain came. If you were in our TG, I kind of gave us the warning that this pump wasn't really fully legit. We expected it, but how high were we going to go? Well, let's talk about it. We're going to break that stuff down. But as always, I'm going to run a couple songs. It's about 10 minutes of music just to kind of let the audience build up. Plus, it's exciting to show you a lot of this Novex music that we've been cooking up on the background. I'll put the list to the playlist in the comments again. A few people have been asking me, but hope you're having a great start to your morning. You could be anywhere else, but you're here vibing with us. And that's how we love it, baby, to just have you around. Market sentiment. Let's play some music first.
Blocks of color, living stream. Every wallet, every dream, plug into the same bright beam. Orders in the air, I can feel the ledger sweat. Every number, every share stays exactly how you care. From the cold night staring at a chart alone to 1,000 voices on a single note, I was chasing signals on a borrowed road. Now the keys sit heavy in my private code. This is Novex, I own my move. On-chain heart with something to prove. Cross-chain doors, I'm breaking through. I choose my risk, I ride my truth. This is Novex, I hold my faith. Set my price, I calibrate. Future in my hands, I won't hesitate. Novex, I elevate. Chained by night. If the rules bend, we can make them right. Every wallet is a signal in a shared new ride. This is Novex, I own my move. On-chain heart with something to prove. Cross-chain doors, I'm breaking through. I choose my risk, I ride my truth. This is Novex, I hold my faith. Set my price, I calibrate. The future in my hands, I won't hesitate. Novex, I elevate.
Novex in my pocket, I feel complete.
Top down,
Oh yeah.
sun going on the chrome, I'm locked in. Whole squad talking about the charts, we tapped in. Novex in my pocket, that's the high line. Turn a long week into a good sign. Used to clock in, clock out, same story. Scrolling on my phone, dreaming about a lane for me. Then I seen the candles, colors on the same screen. Game playing clean, feeling like a daydream. One tap, now I'm reading all the facts, that's grown talk. Money on a mission, I don't chase, I let it walk. Learn the levels, learn the risks, never rushing. Patience in the stash, now my future stay flushing. From the couch to the cloud, I was second guessing. Now I'm chart checking, every session is a lesson. Little win stack, that's compounding grace. Now I bring calm to a fast marketplace. Novex in my pocket, yeah, I move with ease. Smooth with the numbers like a West Coast breeze. From the lows to the highs, I just ride that wave. Turn a plan to a profit, watch the mindset raise. Novex in my pocket, put the fear on mute. Lay back, hustle with a long view route. If you feel that shift when the doubt gets loud, let the screen light up, we gon' break that cloud. Sunrise check, I ain't stressing at the open. Got a watch list built, every symbol got a motor. Wrist set tight, I ain't tryna chase hype. This a plain drip, that's a different type of life. I remember over trading, hands sweating on the pad. Now I breathe first, let the noise run past. Journal on the desk, every move, every reason. Turn loss into wisdom, that's a champion season. Group chat buzzing, everybody on the same road. Share a little game, pay it forward as it grows. See my cousin just start, eyes wide, heart heavy. Told him small size, big plan, keep steady. We don't gamble, we don't prey on the spike. We just study, set a limit, live life we like. Still barbecue, still laugh, still chill. But the future in the background, slowly getting filled. Novex in my pocket, yeah, I move with ease. Smooth with the numbers like a West Coast breeze. From the lows to the highs, I just ride that wave. Turn a plan to a profit, watch the mindset raise. Novex in my pocket, put the fear on mute. Lay back, hustle with a long view route. If you feel that shift when the doubt gets loud, let the screen light up, we gon' break that cloud. 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 More than green on the screen, it's a mind state. Mind state, mind state. We don't fold when the line shake. We just zoom out, see the whole play. From the first small buy to the first withdrawal, that's proof you can build from a little bit of all. Yeah, that's yours now. On your lane, on your route, stand tall. Yeah. OG turf, where they told us take what you can. Now it's playing what you keep, let it work in your hand. Neighborhood can see me scroll, asking what I'm watching. Just some candles and some patience, little bro, that's options. I ain't selling dreams, I'm just showing them the process. Tiny daily steps, same time, that's progress. It ain't overnight, but it's over time. And over doubt, over fear, over every old line. Now my mom more calm, bills paid on the first. I'm a toast to the charts that reverse that curse. Still the same me, white tee, same sneakers. But the balance say I leveled up the speaker. Look, if you lost, we can learn it together. Check the trend, check the news, check the look.
Yeah. Charts light up, glow brighter than the Vegas Strip. CME gaps got the streets on a crypto trip. Candles dancing, wicks slicker than a hustler's drip. Novex move silent, no need for a clip. Legend in the trade, fingerprints on the block. Blockchain buzzing, every tick like a Glock. Defy dreams, I'm stacking on that Eid rock. Wallet full of alpha keys, turn never lock. Novex finance, where the game gets flipped. Candle pattern sparking every chart we grip. Decentralized hustle, never sink, never slip. West side grind, making coins do flips. Bulls charge hard, bears lurking in the fog. Patterns in the smoke, I'm the wizard with the log. Fibonacci spirals, I'm the code in the cog. Crypto moves sharper than a diamond-studded dog. Green and red candles paint Picasso on the screen. Liquidity pulls deep, pockets never lean. Whale swim silent, but I peep the scheme. Alpha moves nightly, cashing out the dream. From the Satoshi code to the ether's flame, Novex rewrites rules in this money game. Charts speak the gospel, prophets proclaim. West side rider, blockchain my claim.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Hope you like those couple bangers there. Shout out to Madam Clutch for DJing in the background. She's been making some music for me on Suno. If you haven't checked out Suno, you should. I don't have no sponsorship or nothing with them. We just absolutely love, just super love that you can just kind of put your visions into music and vibe out as a community. So hope you guys enjoyed that first banger there. The name of that, the Novex anthem, is just a cruising song. Get to chill vibe and kind of kill time as you're watching charts. We are chart watchers, perennial chart watchers, enjoyers of trading, and this is why we have this program. Trade Talk originally came into fruition, in a time where we weren't sure what we wanted to do. Bear market was striking. It just dawned on me. I was like, dude, all the Ponzi, all the big money keeps heading towards leverage. So I began this journey to learn leverage trading, futures trading, you call it. And along the way, we picked up a bunch of friends. We learned a lot, but most importantly, we really learned how to figure out what the market is trying to tell us, what it's showing us, because trying to tell you and showing you are two different things, and then operate with a level of precision that is not seen too regularly. And we do these things out in the open. And now we have Novex Finance, our own decentralized DEX, from going to all these other centralized exchanges, being affiliates, even being the BDM of one that just recently shut down. I saw the writing on the wall when it came to not your keys, not your cheese. So I embarked on this journey, launched Novex, and here we are today. But it doesn't change what Trade Talk is, which is the show that has always kept us on game, kept us sharp, kept us knowledgeable, but most importantly, just kept us really ready to take any trade necessary when the opportunity presents itself. So enough of this little intro. I can always take out Hermit's intro, duration. I have in the past, but I don't really want to go on a 20-minute tangent this time. So I'll just settle for this 5-minute that I just gave y'all. But guys, understand that week in and week out, you guys probably wonder, dang, how does Clutch do it? This dude just seems to not miss with the market direction. And that's what we're going to discuss today, because the Moonboy Pamp was expected. It felt like, hey, we need some bullishness before we get more bearishness. And check, it happened. But anyways, let's not roll around. It's not a flex station. I just want you guys to be safe. I want you guys to win as traders. And this is why I give y'all the information that I can and as accurately as I can. And, we're going to go from there. But let's tap in with everybody. We got the homie Andreezy. Yo, Andrew, as part of the original idea, you didn't necessarily teach me futures trading. I was already doing that in the stocks and with calls and puts, but you put it on my radar. You were trading on, where was it, KuCoin or was it Kraken? I don't know which one it was, but when that Doquan rug happened, you were in a short, you closed it for big gain. If you would have left it, who knows what would have happened. But when that happened, that really hit me. That made me realize the Ponzi's of Ponzi's and the future trading in the margin in the one of the two unregulated markets in the world. America, for America's derivatives market, and obviously our crypto market. So you sold me a dream. I put it together, baby, and we absolutely cooked, Andrew. But anyways, man, how you doing this morning? Were you marked safe on top blasting, thinking you missed and you didn't want to miss out?
Man, I don't know if I've ever top blasted. To be honest, I think I was a bottom blaster before we patented that term. So I was marked safe, man. And we talked about that Luna run quite a bit. I'm sure there's new people coming. That I think that might have truly been the first thing I ever shorted, because it's always weird when you first come into trading, because your mind's always around like, hey, I want to get in an asset and ride it up. So it's always kind of weird at first to start thinking about shorting. But man, when that news dropped and it just tanked so much, and then I saw it rally back up, I'm like, dude, there is no way they can recover from this. And it just felt like the perfect short. And I was up 500% in 15 minutes, and it seemed like a major win. But had I left that open overnight, I would have been up about 100 G's. But we live and we learn, man. This cycle, when we get our Luna, I can promise you I am not going to close that one early. And I don't think many people in our circle are going to close early, because I feel like we're gonna be ahead of the curve there. And that's really what these trade talks are all about, man. Staying ahead of the curve, finding that move when it happens, right? Like that move can make your whole cycle. If we're being real, right? If you hit a big 100x, your cycle, so that's what we're here paying attention to. But guys, this is Trade Talk, powered by Novex Finance. It goes out everywhere: X, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Rumble, Kick, all those places. Regardless of where you're tuning in from, make sure you follow me, Clutch, Novex, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Y'all know what to do. But guys, we are here for the profits, baby. So the way these go down is, I check in with everybody. I got a nice little check-in question for us, generally just to try to get us thinking and get us ahead of the curve. Then I'll throw it over to Clutch. He'll look at the charts. He'll let us know what he's seeing. He'll call a range for the next 2 days. He'll call a direction for the next 2 days, and then we'll try to call a trade of the show. But guys, let me throw out our question. Then I'll tell you a little bit about Novex. Then we'll check in with everybody. So my check-in question is going to be one I think is going to catch you guys a little off guard this morning with us on the regular. But
No,
man,
Twinkies
Morgan Stanley
are not the truth. I know that's where your head.
Dude, Twinkies are
Listen, dude. Unless they're chocolate covered, okay. So which means they're not Twinkies or Zingers.
No, you just got disgusting.
Dude, this is a controversial show already.
I'm from St. Louis, and we fry our Twinkies.
Wait, you fly your Twinkies?
Unless you're talking.
Explain the flying.
We fry them.
You fry them? Because I was going to say,
we fry
how
them.
do you fly them?
Then we fly them.
You fly them directly into your plate. Nah, you know what, dude? The fried Twinkies, bro, that's a different level of violence against your temple.
It is. It's like a once every 3 year type thing. But we'll talk about Twinkies another time, guys. But Morgan Stanley, they just filed for a Ethereum trust with the SEC, and I think that's pretty big because it's another big player, and we've all been bearish on Ethereum, right? I'll throw out the bearish cases for Ethereum, the founder, and the Ethereum Foundation sells at literally every top. There's probably some back doors, this and that. They've been compromised before and had to fork the chain. Where do you think Ethereum Classic came from, right? But I can't ignore some just because of bearish sentiment right now. We have a lot of treasury companies that are accumulating, and then I can't remember the one, but there's one that they're the second largest holder, and they're slipping my mind right now, but they're the second largest holder in Ethereum, and eventually they're going to be a bigger holder than the Ethereum Foundation. So what I'm seeing is all these big time players are scooping Ethereum, even though everything's bearish, right? And again, let me iterate this. Everything besides Bitcoin is always a trade, right? Like Bitcoin is the end goal. Bitcoin is what we stack, and we trade everything else to get there. But with all these big time players and treasuries and SEC filings coming in for Ethereum and bearish sentiment, what do you guys think the chances are that within the next 2 years we see an Ethereum only bull run, even if it's just a mini bull run, right? An Ethereum only bull run on chain. Ethereum pumps everything in the Ethereum ecosystem pumps for maybe 6 months. What do you guys think the likelihood this happens? So I want to let you guys marinate on that for a second, and let me tell you guys about Novex, man, real quick before we get to the show. Novex is built by traders for traders. We Clutch, me, Ghost, we have all partnered with literally everybody. I think everybody with Binance. We've had partnerships, right? Affiliate partnerships, trading deals with, and we've seen the system inside and out. We've seen so many of these collapse, so many of these screw people. So we wanted to launch a DEX that was by traders for traders, and that's what we did. We made sure that you got all the bells and whistles that you're gonna want, and then we made sure as Web3 people we're positioning ourselves for massive success, like you've seen other perps dexes attempt, and some like Jupe, you know, do, but a lot of times people are disappointed. So we're making sure the traders aren't disappointed when we get to that point. But most importantly, as a whole, the traders on Novex are profitable, and that's unheard of. We traded everywhere, and if you have another DEX or centralized exchange that as a whole the traders are profitable, please let us know. But here the traders are profitable as a whole, and the reason being is A, we do these trade talks Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern, so follow and sub so you don't miss them. But B, make sure you jump in the Novex Telegram, because in there is how we keep everybody profitable. I share trades in there. Clutch Cell shares trades in there. Ghost shares every single trade, every single profit take in there. And that's why we're profitable, because we just feed people information that they need to be successful in this trading game. So, guys, make sure you follow, make sure you're in the TG, and just lock in with us. Get on Novex and start trading, because you will be profitable if you lock in with us. So I'm hyped to see where we're going to grow this thing. I'm hyped to help everybody catch their next Luna short. And we're going to create some millionaires. I'm going to go ahead and say it. We are creating millionaires at Novex, baby. But let me go ahead and throw it around, check in with the homies who we got up here. We got Massimo tuning in. What's good, Massimo? How you doing this morning? And what do you think about Ethereum still getting some action from big time players? What are the chances you think we see an Ethereum only bull run in the next 2 years?
Good morning, guys. How we doing? Or I should say,
Hey,
rather, hey,
yeah,
hey.
bro. If
All
you're
right.
gonna call me this early, you gotta hit me with either the Italian persuasion, bro, or you gotta hit me with a.
You're right. I forget the time zone difference. I've been up half a day already, so that's my bad. It'll never happen again. But no,
I
this is honestly
100% just want to clarify. I 100% blame you for living in the East Coast. You could easily just rotate your whole family to the West Coast, where so much of the homies are at, and we
I
can really
could.
form a whole like soccer compound and just destroy the Western Hemisphere. With a couple
You're
soccer
right.
squads. So, but no,
Look,
again, you're right. But I love that you did take a little accountability there.
there's an appeal there, and you know what, it's important that we highlight or we discuss the things going on so we can rebuild and move on with our relationship. But as much as I like your idea, I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. I think it's a fantastic idea, but why don't you guys come on over to the Midwest, where everything other than the weather is better.
Not the food, not the weather. We can argue.
The
Okay, we
food's
can
better because
argue.
I'm here, bro. Remember the beep and bop? Hey.
Nah, but you're forgetting, dude. I'm a grill master myself. The wifey cooks great. Like dude, look, all I'm gonna
Hey, my
say,
second favorite's Mexican, bro. So
there
that's
you
it.
go.
Let's go.
There you go. So here's the one thing though. You can convince me to move out there with the monetization of all that wind power we're gonna have to install to take advantage of that gorgeous weather.
Or just win that one what is it? However many $1 billion lotto. Just build a compound and just be like, hey, there's a lot for you guys.
Bro, that would be like so sick. Hey guys, I just bought Nebraska. Make sure you enter, the state boundary lines, find the spot, you get a free compound, dude. Like, imagine, dude, if I was
You
like
know
a
the old
hundred
saying,
billion
like,
in, dude, heck yeah.
yeah, heck yeah, man. I'll say, the old saying, whoever has the gold makes the money. Well, in this case, state and boundary lines don't matter. We create whatever we want. School needs I heard there's a levy on the school board for a new bridge or a new field. Guess what? Massimo just supplied it, and compound boundaries are as we want. But the boundaries right now that we're talking about are Ethereum, correct? And I think it's a great topic, a good question. And look, I for one, I'm sitting here with G Pup. We're heading out from job site, and I'm gonna tell you, I think first of all, I don't trade Ethereum or ETH. and it's only because I'm of the mindset that, look, if you're good at something, right, why complicate it and add an additional element, right? And there's plenty of coins for me to trade on Novex, and yeah, I'm not sitting here and saying that I won't trade ETH, if the opportunity presents itself, right? Like, people ask what type of trader, opportunistic trader. I'm a momentum trader. I'm a trend trader. So, whatever the trend or momentum is, that's what I'm on, right? When COVID hit, it was work from home stocks, right? I mean, made a freaking killing on Zoom and what the heck's it called? The concierge medical company, I can't remember. But anyway, at the end of the day, I think, look, ETH isn't going anywhere. Okay, it has. Um, yeah, I think a solo bull run for ETH, I think it will happen. I think you'll see a mini. I don't necessarily think that ETH will respond with everything in the same way, as much as I'm confident that it will have its own little mini run at one point or another. But I can't sit here and say that it's not going to reset prior to doing it. I do think there's still big upside from here. But look, just due to the unique fundamentals and on top of it, we're seeing a growing institutional adoption. Um, you know, uh, that I think is going to be the key, right? One of the key indicators that it is going to happen is when we start to see, more institutional adoption and spot ETFs, and I know there's, major firms, all the regular usual suspects, right? BlackRock, Fidelity, are talking, are claiming that they're seeing, an increase in inflows and things like that as well. So, I think. Also taking into account the supply, or the scarcity, excuse me, of supply, in general, as it relates to some of the other tokens. Um, I I think it happens. I think it just comes down to, right, whenever institutional money decides that the focus is going to be on a push over back onto ETH, then we'll start to see things shift. But I also feel like it's not going to be something that happens overnight. Like, there will be signs. In other words, get your Novex platform, a perps trading platform, ready, because there will be signs, and we will catch them.
There will be signs. Well, most people say that, and they don't say it in the same way. But we say it because we're gonna be ahead of the curve. Good stuff, Massimo. Good to hear from you, bro. You you guys have motivation you tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, we had to change the schedule up a little bit. I'm in season now. I am officially back coaching my daughter's team, and let me tell you, man, I got a squad. Like, we're small, but at this age, you just keep the ball off the floor, you win. And I'm excited. So now we're practicing Tuesday nights. So we pushed. We gear back up tomorrow, and then we're going Mondays and Thursdays. I made a post yesterday, so a little shift, but I feel like Mondays and Thursdays feels better anyway.
No, I like it. I like it. I will. I'll make sure I tune in. Oh, Herman ain't up here no more. Who we got up here? We got Alex. What's good, Alex? How you doing, bro? How's your morning going? And what do you think about all these big time treasuries and stuff buying Ethereum? Do you think that or what are the chances of an Ethereum only bull run, you think, in the next 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, in the next 2 years, yeah, for sure, man. What the fuck's going on with that? Motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, obviously, what's his face? What Lee is staking now. He put 200 million or something to stake. Whether that's bullish or bearish, it's up for you to decide, man. But yeah, I mean, it's like the rails of fucking uh, it's the rails of fucking the blockchain, isn't it, man? Like, everything's waiting for Ethereum to get above that 5,000 point, and then we'll see some sort of bull run. So yes, hope it fucking moves. Yeah, over the next 2 years. Yeah, eventually it will do something, that stable coin. So yeah, I mean, everybody talks about it. Eventually, it will do something. And I mean, I was at the launch of the that the latest update and stuff, and Ethereum devs are obviously super bullish and talk about scalability and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it was interesting. I didn't really know they're a strange bunch of fellas, but yeah, eventually it will do something. If it will be only Ethereum, that's debatable, man. But I could see it pushing up. I don't think. I mean, I was more bullish before. Hopefully, as long as we get above 5,000, like it's killing me to see it below 4,000, to be honest. Um, but yeah, eventually it'll hit, nine or so, 9 or so thousand. I mean, I wouldn't see it. I don't think it's going to hit 12, but yeah, optimistically, it could hit 12. But we'll wait and see, man. We'll wait and see. But everybody's pretty bullish. I think even Kathy Wood was started talking it up the other day. Yeah, that's me thoughts, man.
Hey, let's hope that stable coin moves. No, nobody expected some hopium this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good to hear from you, Alex. Holding it down in the UK, always pitching Novex everywhere. Good stuff, man. We got Hermit back up here. Let's check in with Hermit. What's good, Hermit? How you doing? And what do you think about these big time treasuries buying? Or what are the chances we see an Ethereum only bull run within the next 2 years, Hermit?
I'm giving this one more shot, and I will be leaving Restream some strongly worded feedback when the time comes.
Do y'all hear
So
Hermit?
don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me.
Okay. I was gonna go full on. I was gonna go full
I
on
know
and get
you
you.
were. I
Oh man,
know
I
you were
feel nice
going
this
to.
morning. I'm trying to be a better me. So the wifey, she can't see me right now, but she can hear me. And if I would have gone full on mean, she would have for sure told me. So thank you, Madam Clutch, for just, keeping me reeled in.
Normally I would have allowed it, but with my recent struggles on trying to get on this stream, I'm just like, man, it would just be my luck that I can't hear a thing Hermit's saying, so I guess it wasn't important. So, anyways, I as much as some of us may be disappointed with the whole like, okay, they're all piling into Ethereum at this point. It's just one of those deals. Like I know some people are obviously going to be super excited because they're Ethereum maxis. Um, Not so much anybody in here, but we are profit maxis. And so at that point, you go where the money is so you can make your profits. You don't have to like something to make profit off of it. I'm not going to sit there and say I would enjoy cleaning out porta potties as my day job, but if I can make a boatload of money doing it, why wouldn't I just go ahead and do that? So did I just compare Ethereum to porta potties? Possibly, but that's beside the point. Could we have an Ethereum bull run? Of course we could. We could have any type of bull run that you could imagine. It's just a matter of, okay, do we want to? Do you want to get exposure now, or do you want to try and get exposure later? You're gonna want to get some semblance of exposure um, before it really starts to take off. Obviously, it's not going to be the most exciting thing at times when you're just kind of like floating back and forth. I mean, Ethereum had been doing that for the past year. Then it finally had its pump where it almost got to all-time highs or barely passed its all-time highs last year. Everybody got all excited, because for the longest time it's just been sitting there floating between like 2,000 and 3,000 or something like that. All of a sudden it goes to 4,500 and everybody's like, okay, here it goes. And then that was it. So, I mean, the whole idea is position yourself before everything takes off. And it's like, if you have these big players with a ton of money positioning themselves into blockchains, you probably should start taking notice. And if not, being like, okay, maybe I should maybe I should start buying some. Like if you haven't been buying it yet, maybe buy a little bit. You don't obviously have to go all in, but listen to Trade Talk, and Clutch will give you the bottoms, and he's pretty good at giving bottom bottom blasting. So, anyways, there we go. That's my opinion, and I will probably rug. So hopefully everybody actually got it.
We got all of that. The issue with Restream or anything that's web based, when you're on a website, it keeps going back and forth. So until we can figure out how to also stream a space at the same time without having a finagle, right? Because too much finagling is needed to make the space happen. I'm sure eventually they'll do an update where you can integrate APIs and just go directly live, but be able to just kind of join from different apps and different services. So, but Hermit, I do want to, just clarify the bottom blasting, guys. It's an art. It's very, very dangerous. Um, it's not for everyone, and it's typically reserved when fear is at its lowest. The fear comes out. My bottom blasting machine gun, bro, gets reloaded. I don't care if I've only shot 2 bullets of the whole magazine. I reload the whole mag because I want to blast it all at those bottoms. Thank you, Hermit.
Hey, no problem. I mean, that just goes to, another age old tip for trading, especially in crypto. Make sure you have some dry powder. Don't just go all in at once because you're 100% sure, because inevitably the dip keeps dipping. And so you need to make sure you have some dry powder always. So always reload when you can. So there you go.
Always have the dry powder. And then you made a good point that you're gonna want exposure to it before the time comes, right? So like I might, at the bottom be looking to grab a little Ethereum just in case there's an Ethereum bull run and some major activity within that ecosystem, right? Like I think if you see like Ethereum go down to like 1200 or 1500 and get some crazy run up to 6, 7, 8K, obviously that's not the sexy move that we come to crypto for in general, but I think that actually would spark something on chain, and having, if you're having some Ethereum, you're probably holding some stuff on chain too. So that's kind of what I think is a reality that could happen over a 6 month, or over a 6 month period sometime the next 2 years. But that's just my opinion. Let's kick it over to Clutch, man. Clutch, you got any thoughts on this, and what are you seeing on the charts, homie?
We checked in with everyone already. All right, good. Look, man, the funny part here is we are talking about whales accumulating. How's that any different than when your favorite crap coin of choice, something that went to 180 million and it's now down at 10 million, right? And it's telling you, oh well, the Binance whale's accumulating, all the whiff whale. Oh, remember that guy? He's got 180,000, Solana, blah, dude. So big brains about to ape. You guys should too. How is that any different than that, Andrew? I'm flipping it on you. Your topic has now became the back and forth.
No, I think the glaring differences are it's a bigger market cap, right? We're not truly talking about somebody buying a few percent of 180 million. We're talking about somebody buying a few percent of big time billions. And then the people that are buying, it's not like they're gonna easily just be able to dump their bag, in a few clicks, like we see in meme coins. Like these are people that, like, if they're buying this, they're definitely holding for the next 5 years. They just don't move assets like that, and they're willing to take the loss before they probably move over a 5 year period. So I'd say that's the difference when you see those big whales come in the meme coins. Well, you're putting trackers on their wallets, and the second you see them moving something, it's over. I just don't. I just think the timeline's extended here, and everything's extended just because it's a bigger asset.
I do get that, but you're also having whales showing up that have come into a chain that has very little activity from dude. If Solana is the most volume, most active chain, and it doesn't even have that many people overall, we're talking about, to suffice big institutions being here, right? They're banking on this activity being mass adopted. So for me, Ethereum is doing the complete opposite of mass adoption. It's pushing its builders away from Ethereum. They're everywhere else. They're launching their own, protocols and product, just trying to bypass Ethereum. Yes, there's EVM chains, and yes, there's always going to be exit liquidity, bro. Like, I'll build on your stupid chain if you give me 50 mil Ethereum Foundation, right? Like, that's just the nature of the beast. So, at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. Ethereum's golden runs are now when nobody else is expecting anything to come from that chain, that they then give you an exit pump. The way, like, think about it. Didn't we already kind of have an Ethereum only bull run? We've had like two of those in the last 2 years where Ethereum was the only one pumping. I'll give you a third and golden fun one. Ethereum was one of the only things keeping up with the CME over the last 2 months. While everything else is going to zero, dumping. Look at Solana just getting crucified, right? In the 130s, but Ethereum's still holding on at 3K. Yeah, I crap on it for not hitting 5K, not holding on to 4K. And now here it is at 3K, but it's been at 3K for freaking a long time now. This to me is the same thing that you're trying to tell me in the topic is, yeah, these people buying is why it stayed to this point. But at some point, someone's going to use them as exit liquidity. It's not people, because people aren't dumping their Ethereum. There's not that many people with Ethereum anymore. You literally have left whales and their money now. That is what is left of Ethereum. That's my argument and my counter take to what you're saying. So to me, it's a big old pig with a whole bunch of lipstick, but they put gold in that lipstick. It looks really nice. They even put a little hint of platinum and a little uranium. I don't know where I was going to go with that one, Andrew, but I don't know, man. This is a crap coin play. Hey, I got 80% of my port on something else. Let's hedge it with 20% to Ethereum so everyone thinks we're back. You may eat that loss, but you're going to gain somewhere else. I don't know. I haven't dove into it, nor do I really care to. It's Ethereum. But to me, anything involving that chain and its backdoors and all of its scams, to me, I'm not going to take hopium in that and use that in any shape or form in my investments other than to short or long it.
That, but I think the reality is that if there is an Ethereum only bull run, we're definitely going to be playing on chain there too. So I just think that if it happens, that you're going to see a ton of activity spark up there, kind of how we saw when like the Solana kicked off the meme coin bull run,
Right.
but then like Ethereum really took it to the next level, and then Solana found a way to take that liquidity back.
Absolutely. And Andrew, I'm one of the biggest Ethereum haters in the world. Who was the first one on those meme coins, Zog? With Ethereum. I freaking called that crap. I was sending money. So I was sending Ethereum to dudes posting their addresses because I knew how to look and snipe the contract addresses, that the tokens that they were getting for free. Like, because someone's launching it, giving it to him for free. This person does the post, he keeps the money. Boom, boom, boom. That was like the play back then. And it was on Ethereum, dude. And I was one of the first ones, dude. I was listening to spaces, just waiting to snipe these freaking rugs that all these freaking bums over there were doing. And when the ruggers realized, oh crap, we can go rug on Solana because now our market making is free. 95, 98% cheaper. Remember, at that time, Ethereum didn't have the cheaper fees. So all this knock on Solana being such a terrible chain, listen, I make fun of it. It's my favorite crap coin, but it's a crap coin because of these factors. But the reality is that it's not Solana people. Solana kids are kids, bro. This is such a young chain that all the OGs started flocking. Where do you and I come from, Andrew? BNB, right? People flocked from Ethereum, BNB, from every other chain to Solana to start using people as exit liquidity. It's literally what's been happening and why you have these runs just always gets stifled, right? Because you got pumped out fund. How much money haven't they exited, right? And the Ethereum Foundation exiting from a lot of its positions without the volume to sustain it, it makes perfect sense why it's always stalled out as well and haven't really gone anywhere. There's only so much money, and if you don't wash your buyers, or your sellers, sorry, you're gonna go negative. So Ethereum's not. Recently, it is. Now we know why. It's just homies making homie deals with their well friends, because any well connected to crypto is not going to go put their money on Ethereum. They're going to go wait for Bitcoin, and then they're going to go play in the ecosystem and make some form of partnership deals, not just like source trust me, bro. Source trust me, bro deals, bro. They're not going to last. This is the last cycle of those source trust me, bro deals, and that's Ethereum for the last 4 years. I miss those back and forths. This coffee's
Trust me, bro.
got me going. But yeah, source trust me, bro. Andrew.
Trust me, bro.
Yeah, bro. Just we gonna do this, bro. Just give me your millions. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you need my source?
Tom Lee's gonna pump your bags, man.
It really comes down to the charts tell you the truth. How am I so confident in the things that I say about something so valuable, right? It's because it's so valuable from an optics standpoint that everybody is given to it when I have tracked its growth because I was in on Ethereum since $500. Okay. So like I was once an Ethereum maxi. I staked a bunch of ETH. I freaking did all that. So like I was duped just like everything else, dude. I was duped with XRP. You know, one that never got me. It's Cardano. I wholeheartedly believe I'm still married to this day because I've never bought in Cardano, right? So, if you don't want to lose your spouse, listeners, don't buy Cardano. Like the Cardano is the plague that will hit your home. You buy and you just isolate that money forever and nothing ever happens to it. Ethereum is almost becoming that stable coin like XRP, to where XRP maxis they get a pump from 30 cents to $3. A 10x, okay? Overnight. And they want more. And they don't sell because they're like, yo, we were right. It's going to 300 because the YouTuber told me so. 3,000. Bro, there's no money in the world to make your stupid coin go to 3,000. And I was begging people, dude, my mom wanted an ape XRP. She heard it at work, and my mom's a Mexican. Works at a mine, bro. It's almost like, yo, what, you don't even know these things, but she's hearing XRP. Yeah, that's a freaking scam. I knew these things were going down just because it's like, dude, you just see it in the charts and you have things that should be going up, but they don't. They give you enough to keep you happy. But look at Bitcoin, right? From the bottom of its bear, there's only a few that have given you those things, right? And you're looking at like Solana, dude. It's crazy how we can knock it, but it's still at 1,200% from the bottom, sustaining here. So it's very impressive. This is why we trade it. This is why if we ever launched anything, it would be on Solana. Solana is just the it chain, and it's brought all its bad actors. So to me, one day that'll flush out because there'll be no more launching a meme token and just getting exo liquidity. Like you'll have elements of it through creator stuff, and as more socials get infested with crypto bros and sis, it's just gonna be one of those things, man. It's a slow grind, but I think we wasted what could have been a golden run because we had so many golden run like on tokens. And yeah, I made life-changing money. Many of us made life-changing, gains that literally changed things for us. So there's going to be more of that. So if anything, I would argue like to go on the case of like the topic and let's just assume Ethereum's going to go on that crazy 3 to 5x that we're all kind of like thinking could be the potential 6, 7K, 8K type of deal. Then dude, I would just buy some USDC on base chain or Ethereum something and go stake it, earn some yield, because there will be a meme coin cash grab on that chain when Ethereum does go on that run. So when I click the button to buy 1 ETH, 2 ETH, whatever, I don't want to hold 1, 2, 3 ETH. I want to be able to really maximize that. And it's going to happen in the same way of what we did last cycle, the previous bear market. Ethereum was at $900, and I grabbed $500 of it. That's all I bought at the bottom of Ethereum, only 500. And when we went to start playing on Ethereum, like I literally just had that point. It was like 0.54, 0.56 ETH, something like that I had, and I turned that into some crazy gains. So I'm gonna operate with that same strat, maximize how much ETH I can buy, but then I'm freaking going full port send on a few meme coins on that chain that I'm catching wind from smart wallets, alpha chats. Obviously, you guys all know the strategies on what to ape, how to find your way into being early into things. But to me, if this is going to be a sign of like some real injection liquidity, Andrew mentioned something that's huge. It's a big key. He said, hey, these wells or these types of people are sitting on these gains for 5 years. Okay. Do you think they want to stay on it for 5 years? No, they're regulated to stay for 5 years, right? So although I do agree with it, the reason behind it all, to me, that's the bullish part, because these fools are gonna want to go play on meme tokens. They're gonna want to start creating alts and doing these things that they've been taught by their predecessors on Ethereum, which is the place with people with alts. It's the place with numerous accounts, and it's the place where everything is falsified. And they literally taught the Solana ecosystem how to facilitate a perfect rug. Solana before was all hype and massive runners on things that everyone agreed. Chad, right? Giga Chad, boom, sent, whiff, sent. Myro sent. Everything that just should not have sent. Yeah, there was cabal involved, but it was just Solana, and we literally got 1,000Xers. That stopped when Solana gained that popularity. So understanding that aspect of it, to me, makes me real bullish on this Ethereum cash back. What do you guys think? Sounds saucy, doesn't it?
Very sexy.
Oh, okay, guys. Well, let's get to some TA. I got the USDT dominance chart loaded up, and holy cow, right? We got a nice little pump. Now, on Friday's show, we predicted that, just by looking at it, right? We were looking at, hey, the total market cap of crypto is holding on above 3 trillion. So that's a good thing. It held. Now, it did lose about 100 billion. We were in the 3.25, 3.24. I don't know exactly how high we got here on this last pump, but we're holding a 3.13 trillion market cap right now. In the midst of this nasty pullback, the fear and greed is actually rising. There is much more greed. People are buying these bottoms. Bitcoin's going to 94, GDing to 91, 3%. And now people are getting greedy, thinking a 3%, 5% dump is plentiful for me to just start accumulating. These are the signs that I look at that point towards ejectocito, cuz why would they dump the market when the fear is at 9, at 12, at 18? Bro, everyone's scared. No one else, like that's it. You freaking cooked everyone. And I caught wind of this because there was no more bearish momentum crossing and all that stuff left. And what did I say? Hey, this is how they grab exit liquidity. I guess we can go back and make these clips, and we can really start putting that out there. But this is why I had said that, and we're gonna get to the charts here in a bit, and I'm gonna show you guys some cool stuff. But always check these stats on CoinMarketCap. We're below that 3.3 range. Remember, I feel real if we're above 3.3. because that was previous cycle all-time high for total market cap of crypto. Then we went to 4.5. Now we lost 3. We went to 2.4, 2.5, and here we are back above 3. But the resistance is where we need a breakthrough. This is where we went to 3.25, almost to that level, and we got demolished. So we want to see that. Okay, how are we going to get 100 billion back? Where are we going to get a pump from? There's no full moon till next month. We used ours too early, and it only gave us a 5% pump on Bitcoin, and it gave us a freaking 10, 15% on alts. That's it. That's all. It's pretty devastating that XRP is the best gainer over 7 days with a 19%er, and Dogecoin with 24% out of our top 10. So I do love looking at the top 10. And you actually have Cardano at a 20% gainer as well. So here's the sign. Solana, 7 days, 8%. Bitcoin up 4%. Ethereum up 6%. Right? Bitcoin's up 4.2%. Actually, BNB up 4.12%. The moral of the story is ones that are going up extremely high are the ones no one buys. Only institutions and market makers and volume makers, and that's how they create the frickin' exit liquidity plays. They'll inject 100 billion over here. Once they're up 4%, they'll frickin' eject all their positions, go and inject it elsewhere. And this is why you see Bitcoin dump and other things pump and all these crazy rotations. You even seen Zcash give you some of these rotation dumps, and you can track that on the inflow charts. There's a bunch of tools. I haven't gone full in depth and giving you guys everything. I try to keep it as basic as possible, but that is one of the things you guys can add to it. Because once you see those inflows, and you can kind of start understanding that these are exit pumps. So when you're on Solana and you get 140, you freaking eject though. Because you know when Bitcoin hits 94, I've been just taking shorts. It's easy. 93.7 was this latest one. And I'm like, dude, how can I not? So at the end of the day, right, these metrics matter, and fear and greed is up. We're at 49. We're about to go almost into the green zone. That means people really think this is the bottom. They're starting to believe this is the bottom. They're starting to believe, quote unquote, that part of what I just said is what really makes me become what? Opposite. The more greedy the market gets, the more fearful I become, because none of it makes sense. If everything was up 9% and then Bitcoin up 5%, everything's more or less even, it's a different story. But here you got the exit pamps, right? The exit scam pamps that are really taking over these things. So for me, man, I'm on not much has changed, but there are some things on our side. Now let's go to our charts here, and we're gonna start with the CME this time, because this was just a freaking epic call. I warned you guys. I said, guys, this was Monday's show. Okay. I am not, we were below the 50, and other things were above the 50, and I was not sold. I said, guys, I am not sold. There's a gap that we left. There's no chance we go anywhere else before going and closing the gap. I literally went out on a limb and said that. And now here we are entering the CME gap that we left open from Friday to Monday. What a surprise. We got the full moon on the 3rd, which I believe was that Saturday? Let me check my calendar real fast. Yeah, the 3rd was Saturday. So, over the weekend, full moon, boom, we leave a gap. They use you guys all as exit liquidity and eject Ojito, cuz, right? So this is awesome. Now, I do not respect CME gap closes that are partial. 50% is the least I'll take to respect a bounce up from there. But you really want to see all of the CME gap close. Okay. But in this
Do you want
case,
to go full screen, mate?
am I not sharing my screen?
No, but do you want to go full screen?
Oh, I thought it
But
was on full screen. My bad. Oh, I know what you're talking about because it's not doing the. My bad, guys. Hold on. Dee 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 dee. Entire screen. All right, better. Okay. So, anyways, so we talked about that gap.
not
Check.
yet. It's still not full screen. Sorry.
Are you talking about the whole chart, dude?
You would remove us and the chat and stuff.
Oh, got it. Now I see what you mean. 1 second. Well, Andrew's admin, but he's not in here. Or is he in here, Andrew? Anyways, okay, let's go full screen. Boom.
And then remove the chat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Cool.
All right. Yeah. So, anyways, look, this is textbook plays, guys, but it's really free money because you can catch all these dumps and then long real fast. And there's just a lot of different things to do, right? So let's just go to the Bitcoin chart. But anyhow, before I move on, doesn't matter. We'll look at position stuff later. We just really want to see the direction of the market. So here, what I do notice and what I don't like is that the ADMA crossed up above the 21 on the CME. And we've discussed how the CME is open much, much less, right? Because they are closed on the weekends. So that means we're closed 33% of the year, damn near, right? Because there's 365 days and the CME is closed 104 days. That's about what? 28%, 30%. Let's just call it 30% of the year. The CME is closed because of holidays and all that as well. And it's going to move a lot slower. We got the 8/21 cross, but the nasty rejection on the 50. And what I was talking about, what they typically like to do is this ADMA was stretched out. No more bringing it down. Buyers are coming in. So that's how they then rotate the chart. So in order to get you more continuation towards the downside, right, you're going to let it go up like this to get the ADMA, right? To get the volume going, to get these crosses happening, to get bulls buying, to get fear and greed going up, right? Got it? Boom, they did that. And now they take it back by making the 8 do this, right? It's like a rubber band. You stretched it too far down. Now you got to let it breathe a little, and they take the rest of the action that way. So there's just a lot of nastiness, but it's pretty easy to track this just by knowing what to look for. And on Monday, I said I'm not sold. We're going to more than likely give us that dump because we're past the 50. And everything else was way above the 50. We were just barely wicking above it. And then during the show, we lost the 50. And we did gain it right back temporarily. We can even go on the 6-hour chart to kind of see how long we had gained it. And it really comes down to the 50 on the daily was the 6-hour 200. Now I knew where to go because I cheat, right? I do TA in advance to kind of know where these things are at. But this rejection of the 200 was very telling because we essentially lost it almost immediately and just given us these little back and forths. But here's what you noticed, right? What I talked about as well with the ADMA. Look at the 8 got stretched out. They have to let it breathe. And now it's working against you. Now being underneath the ADMA on 6 and 4-hour, right? Because you're going to be below the ADMA. But look at on the 200. I'm sorry, on the 4-hour chart, the 200, we went above it on the 8. And now we're using that same bearish momentum, right? To start activating bears. Because bears wait for these triple signals, these rejections, right? These crosses here, when they're above these areas, they notice this, they start shorting, right? And like a lot of this action happens, but you see it, right? Like I warned us, hey, I'm not sold. There's a gap below us. Look, all that's happened since you last saw the show, since Monday. It's, yeah, Clutch is right. I shouldn't keep longing unless you're longing the dumps. Longing the dumps, boom, but take your profits. Longing the dumps, take your profits. Longing the dumps, take your profits, right? It's constant. I don't tell y'all not to long. I'm just telling y'all, why would you hold the long that you got down here? You could have closed anywhere up here, but no, I think this is the bottom. We're going to 140K. Like you're almost at break even holding on to longs. I'm an advocate of during bearish times, take the freaking profit. During bullish times, same thing on the shorts. I'm not going to ride a short forever. I'm going to take the profits that I see. I see red, I take red, right? It's opposite, but you get the idea. Now, so the CME is not looking too hot, right? Simply because, dang, it dragged all the EMAs just to now. It looks like they're about to use them against us. And on the daily, it'll look a little different. So this is where you got to pay attention, right? Because you want to see if you stay above that 8 EMA. So your tail is 90,700. Essentially, guys, you lose 90K again. This 8 EMA is about to send the daily chart down to 70K, to 79, to this wick right here. And we're finally going to test that wick because we have not gotten it. And I really do believe that we need to stay above this range and we need to get above the 50 stat. We cannot keep rejecting 94K Bitcoin. It will devastate the rest of the market. And I want you to understand it is only 2-3% from here. And they keep defending this with honor, with everything they got. They're showing out like if it was a war, right? They're bringing out all the muscle, all the tricks, everything to keep Bitcoin within a 5% spread, 3% spread. It is insane to watch. You cannot possibly keep Bitcoin in a 3-5% spread in a bull market. So when people try to tell you all these crazy things, come to Trade Talk because we'll tell you the raw, real information, exactly how you should see it, which is how the market makers try to make you look opposite. But on the biggest of time frames, we catch these fools. This is why I'm on top of it. But anyways, so we want to go to the 12-hour because we know that the 8 EMA is our key, right? 9,700. So I want to go find an area that I really, really need to defend. And it's right here, guys. On the 12-hour, okay, the 200, it's pretty far. So right now we rejected this FIV. I have FIVs for a reason. They help me make decisions like, yeah, I'm shorting because there's no way we're catching this FIV. Confirmations. Let's go take this money. Anyways, we are above the 21 and we're below the 8. So what will happen first, the chicken or the egg? Will the 21 cross above the 50 or will the 8 give me so much bearish momentum that it's going to head towards the 50 and cross underneath that first? These are 12-hour candles. It's probably going to take 2 to 4 days to tell me which one is it going to be. I cannot predict just by looking at the 12-hour chart exactly what we're going to see. So then we go to the 8-hour and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now you have to remain above this level, above the 21, because if we lose the 21, we're heading to the 50 on the 8-hour, which just simply means the 50 closes the gap. But in closing the gap, we then allow, in closing this gap, we go below the 21. The 8 is going to devastate us. If we close this gap in full, guys, and we don't recover immediately from there, it's going to be a pretty significant 10% dump or so, probably more. I don't know. I can't give you the exacts because I'm not some, crazy future store, prediction markets guy that can really tell you everything perfectly. But when I get these senses, I'm always not surprised by them, and we know where they're going to potentially go. So you also want to know if we do pump from here, where are we going to go? Dude, that's 100K. 99K is the level. That 12-hour 200. It's really going to be it. It's also the daily 200, right? 99.7. This gives us hope for another 10% from here, 8% from here, which should give you 20% on the market. Maybe that's why fear and greed is getting higher, because people are buying in and they're accumulating. So the market makers are saying, sure, why would we not take this exit liquidity? Nothing is straight down or straight up forever for those reasons, because they want to maximize what they can cook with. So just be on alert because it's real suspicious. Now, take a little mental view how the daily looks on the CME. We rejected the 50 and we now have that 8 over 21 cross already happened, and we don't want to lose the 8. Okay, got it? Now let's go to the daily. on futures. We're below the 50. We were way above the 50, went right below it one more time, and finally realized Bitcoin's not going to break above here, meaning no more front run. Enough front running the CME. It's heading down. So they took us below it. Now we're underneath the 50, and we're about to be underneath the 8 EMA. That's scary. 91,185 is where we're at, and 91,173 is where the 8 EMA is at. If we cannot hold on to this level, guys, boys and girls, this is going to be a devastating loss, because then the 8 EMA is going to push it down at least towards the 21. And what's going to happen if we lose 90K? Commence all the other bearishness that's incoming, right? Because if the 12-hour happens, the 8-hour happens, and then if the 8-hour happens, the 6-hour will happen, which is the 8 and everything else crossing under the 200 and just sending you lower. 4 hours, same thing. Right here, you need to hold on. Look at Bitcoin on its 4-hour. The 8's about to, oh no, it already went underneath the 21. So this is why we're dumping, guys. If you're looking at the 4-hour chart and say you haven't looked at these last two candles, look at what you're looking at. The 8 is incoming. On the next pump, I'm shorting because I know that 8 is probably going to cross underneath. What happened? It probably was going to cross underneath, and it did. Right? So you can predict these things in advance by knowing how to look at those averages and the EMAs. This is what I do. 2-hour. 8 already crossed, 21's coming. Notice how all the smaller time frames now have a bunch of bearishness. If we don't hold the 200 on the 1 hour, all these EMAs are going to cross under it and keep sending us lower, 30-minute. Oh, man, look, the crosses already happened except the 50. That means the 15, all of them already happened. 5, all of them, right? 1 minute. It happened a long time ago, right? Look at that. Happened way up there, and then we just keep rejecting the 200. Easy shorts every time we hit the 200. But this just feels, I wish I was looking at here, I would have just shorted real quick. But anyways, everything is bearish on the bigger time frames. Again, that wasn't the case on Monday, and that's scary. But it's not scary because you were prepared. You were warned on Monday. You were also warned in our TG yesterday. And I'm going to go back and read the exact message and the Telegram. And again, you can do this on Novex Finance. But I said, well, I was telling someone that they have to pay stars to message me, so you can see that one. Sup, fam? We definitely caught the short. Moonboy Pamp called perfectly. Enjoy the pain again? Question mark? Anyways. We enjoy the pain because we don't get caught in these nasty dumps, right? Trade Talk enjoyers are put up on game. Weekly, monthly for USDT dominance, right? Look at this nasty wick. Yes, we lost the trend. Yes, we dumped because of that. But now here we are establishing another one. This week is not over, right? So this is going to be 2 touches. So the reality is this trend is broken. So we really don't have to have it there. Now you're really looking at what it is, which is my resistance spots. We wick towards there, or sorry, support, right? It's resistance because of opposite. This chart pumps, your bags dump. When this chart dumps, your bags pump, right? It's pumpy dumpy. It's opposite. So I'm going to use sometimes opposite lingo like that one, but this is support for this chart. And now we're gaining 6% again. This is gross because we are now consolidating above our previous rejection spots to give us bear market continuation. So if you're looking, you have your 1. Let's go yellow on that, right? You have your 2, you have your 3, and now we're consolidating at that average. This is not good. Not good at all, because what's next from there is a freaking bounce just ahead us towards where we don't want to go. We're already near Toyota and ramen. Have you guys been eating ramen? I just scooped up a 30-pack. I was like, I'm preparing just in case. There might be a freaking toilet paper situation with the ramen later. If we fully enter that territory. We want Lambos and steak. What's going to take us down there? A nasty rejection of rejections like we are kind of starting to see here. But man, us holding on to these levels is scary. there is upcoming bearish action on this chart, which gives us hope. 5-day, all the bullish action happened, right? Which we don't want bullish action. We want bearishness on this chart. Okay, so let's go find it. On the 3-day, you see how the 8's starting to curl towards the 21? That's something. But we are above the 21. If we get above that 8 on the 3-day, oof. Okay, you see that on the daily, the 8 is about to cross the 50. But if we get above that, we already got a nasty rejection there one time. Watch, let me go to the 6 hour so you can see it. One rejection, and now we're there twice, right? So here's what's scary. If we get above the 8 again, now we're going to use the 8 momentum to go back above the 21. And again, that's on the daily. And if that happens, that means getting above the 8 on the 3-day. We don't freaking want that, right? So we need to go find where the bearish action's coming from, because that's going to be our spots for our longs. On the 12 hour, this is where it looks disgusting. And this is the trend that I identified that we're starting to see. Okay. This here gave us 1-2 touches, followed by a perfect 3-touch situation here. This is now the new trend. And you know why I can respect this? Because US, and I wanted to do it live in front of y'all, because we had that other one, right, that we broke through. But that means on the 12 hour, it made a perfect trend. On the daily, oops, let me do this. On the daily, it's not there. 1 touch, 2 touch. It's not a real trend. But on the 12 hour, it is, right? The 200 bounce that we hadn't seen since the full breakout. Okay, look at this. We hadn't gone to the 12 hour 200. USDT was on such a rager. It made it there and super bounced. Now the 8 is below us, meaning it's pushing us up. When I go to the 8 hour, you're going to see we're now above the 21 more than likely, or heading there. What? We're right there. But guess what? They faded the 8 under the 200, meaning they faded more bearish momentum, meaning, hey, we should probably not long. Anyone looking at this chart and scanning every time frame like I do, this is how I'm always ready, because I get a lot of information. I don't rush trades. I trade a lot. That's because trades present themselves a lot. But dude, this is a free trade. We're above the 8. Boom, I'm long in there, or shorting the market. You can even wait. But you saw it on the 12 hour. Now let's go to the 6 hour. So what's upcoming? Oh my goodness. We got the 8 and the 21 under the 200, and it didn't do anything. And now we're above the 8, above the 21. Oh, thankfully the 200 is right here to slow it down. Look at this. It rejected twice. How many tries before it dumps, or how many tries before it sends? What's it going to be, right? Like, that's kind of scary. Here somebody is asking to join. The noise kind of keeps beeping in my head. But anyways, so this is how I be finding stuff, guys. So on the 6 hour, okay, so we're below the 200. So let's go see what's stopping it. Is going to be something on the 4 hour. Okay. Oh, that's what it is. There's an upcoming vicious 8 above a 21 cross. And typically before that cross happens, the market goes opposite. So we dumped to wait for that cross. That's your freaking sign. When that 4 hour starts crossing and then it grabs the 21, this is what you're potentially going to be seeing. And look at that 8. That 8 is just looking like it's going to do this. The 21. Okay, so that one's 8. Let's do a little prediction. And then we're going to do the 21. So once the 8 does that, the 21's going to trail it. Ooh, right? So then what's the 50 going to do? Same thing. Slowly, the 200, slowly, right? Like all that little freaking, all that little freaking cross action on the 4 hour, dude, that's going to give us another test of my Toyota and ramen spot. This is not good, guys, because the 4 hours looking nasty. That means the 2 hours probably looking bullish. We're above the 200 with some action coming. Let's see. Oh, yeah. No, we're not above the 200. I was wrong, but we are above the 50, right? And after the dump and full rejections, the 8's going above the 50 here soon. Should start pushing us towards the 200. So where we're at here, you're getting consolidation at 6% USDT dominance after we went to almost 7. Man, this looks like it wants to test 7-8% again. That's scary, right? Because if this red candle gets eaten and it goes wiki, and one of these next monthly candles can really be that sender candle that I've been just afraid of. We're yet to see the white rabbit cook. We're still low here. So there's a lot of nastiness incoming, guys. And you can see it. Look at this wick on the weekly with a vicious above the 8 now. Look out for that 4-hour. 4-hour here on USDT Dumpy Pumpy is going to tell you, hey, let's hope we reject the 50 as we haven't touched the 50 since all those rejections right above the 50. You see this? Look at all these rejections. Oh my goodness. And now the 50's not up there. It's down here. So we can use the 50 as support down here. Oh yeah, this is scary feeling. And I don't like it, guys. Solana, it's going to show you a couple things real quick. For starters, yes, triple bottom. 1, 2, 3, right? But for how long? It's holding on to the 8. If it goes below its 200 on the weekly, Solana is freaking cooked. It's not good. To find it, you really want to go to the 5-day on this. You'll see it because the triple action is starting to happen. We already got the 8 underneath the 200. The 12 underneath the 200 just happened. How low is it going to go? We haven't gotten the dump from the 8. I mean, kind of a little bit, but not really. If it loses this bottom, Solana confirms broken structure from its bull market. This will no longer be a triple bottom. It will now be a how low will it go? So then we can go find its bottom, right? So is it going to be, I predicted this bar here, right? The $40 to $60 range. Whew. Ethereum, that vaporware, the upcoming stuff also just comes down to it's gaining all this bullishness, right? It gained it, but now look at it. It's right above its 8. If it loses its 8, all right, look how close it is to it. If it loses its 8, it's going to start heading down and creating the cross action, which sends Ethereum lower. I wouldn't be too worried about Ethereum. Look at this little mini range that it's on. Safe. You can buy $1,000 spot bag and on a pump go to 1,050 and on a dump go to 950. I don't know if there's a safer R&R play right now than freaking Ethereum's trash ass. So bad. And of course, my favorite weapon of choice, it might have been time to have shorted that $550 top with Z-Trash. But my goodness, the same things that I'm talking about, look at the daily. It's now below the 8. It's now heading to the 21, possibly losing that. Look how close it is, right? It went below it and now it's right on it. But if it starts losing this action, it's going to send the 8 lower. So anyways, guys, you need a white swan event right now and you need it bad. Everything is near its bottom with all of a sudden incoming bearishness. You can't make this up to how easy it is when you show up to Trade Talk and how prepared we have y'all. So look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you not to long, not to buy. I'm just going to sit here and let you know that there's going to be a lot of volatility in the market because if this bearishness that looks to be brewing up is wrong and doesn't come to fruition, there's going to be a big pump. Obviously, we know these things, right? But I'm not going to long with leverage because the odds of that happening are much, much lower than a nasty 20% dump from here, which will bring the alts by about 40 to 50% from here. And I'm talking Bitcoin. So all I'm saying is be safe. Don't be going full port. And if you're an enjoyer of just always being on plays, use your spot right now. I've been cooking off buying and selling Solana. I leverage trade Bitcoin, and when I short Bitcoin, I sell my Solana spot. I wait, you know, I wait for it to kind of bottom out. I close my short, I buy more spot, then I wait for the long. Rinse and repeat, but I always make my volatile choice, which is Solana. I want volatility for my spot. I want to, be able to hit for 7, 8% one or twice a day. Every 48 hours, sorry, once to twice a week. I'm sorry, that's what I meant to say. Every 24 to 48 hours, you get these like 5 to 10% swings on Solana. So for me, I enjoy that. I trade every day. It's a great way for me to be in the game, but not be worried about getting liquidated. If I go for broke, go full port, and Solana cheats 50%, fudge, I at least got 50%. Right? So, but if I was leveraging at 5x leverage, my whole port's gone. At 3x leverage, my whole port's gone. So trade safely. And if you do have a 50% dump in the market, dude, have $50. So then, yeah, you lost $200 max. And then you ate that bottom with some vicious longs, right? Like we are in a season to where these things are going to happen quick, fast, and in a hurry when they do. Like it's going to seem like you had no time to prepare. But the reality is once we do dump and get those vicious ones, you only have a limited amount of time to start buying. Bitcoin dominance is cooling down as you're seeing here in the charts, and just everything I'm looking at is telling me you just need to be careful. We're in very dangerous times because fear is up. It ain't dangerous when the fear is, fear is down now. Greed is up. It's different when fear is all the way low, right? They can't really dump it anymore. But once you're getting these pumps that are being just stalled out at crazy levels, on top of you already had a moon, freaking full moon, you already had all these happening, Bitcoin dominance dumping, everything was written for a massive, massive alt pump, which we didn't get. Instead, you got 20% for XRP and Cardano. Stay safe. Always have freaking powder, because in those big old dumps, you don't have much time to buy. Look for those spots. Those are the spots that have completely changed my life. Anyhow, that's it for me, for my TA. Unless anyone has any questions, anyone else got a little take on the market here? Andrew, gang, anyone else?
For me, man,
No?
I'm really on the same page as you, bro. It's shortened season, baby, and I agree. If you want a long, the play is probably big spot bags and just ride it out and take your profits aggressively.
Heck yeah, bro. I mean, dude, I like longing. I take longs, but I'm still hold them overnight. You see, there's always vicious
Green
pumps and
take green
vicious dumps.
season, baby.
Oh yeah, I'm glad we coined that. I freaking bug go so much about it, and trim, and green season has been the play. Just taking them. Longs are easy when you're just taking the profits. The shorts, man, that's what we should be holding with conviction, and I have at sometimes, but overall, it's been this crazy sideways. Then I don't know how long that's gonna last. So, but I'm always ready, baby. And now I at least gave y'all which indicators, which charts, and which time frames to look at to understand what's coming next. All I am is a sports color commentator, Messimo. Okay, I think this is why I'm good at trading. People get caught trying to predict. I am just analyzing, the replays. And the charts are the replays because they're lagging indicators. So if anything, it's something that's happened already a few minutes prior, a few hours, whatever the case is. So I take it like that. Maybe that's why we always cook, baby.
That's right, man. It's just like with your coaching, right? Or my coaching. We don't predict, but we see things.
Yeah, man. Don't get caught trying to predict. I ain't Nostradamus, dog. I just know if one thing happens, it's the domino effect. Something else has to happen because on a law of average, numbers wise, you cannot cross a 6-hour up or down sum without crossing the 4-hour sum first, right? And vice versa. It's just you can look at that on any time frame. For the monthly candle to happen, 4 weekly candles have to happen. For the weekly candle to happen, 7 daily candles have to happen. So there's so much math and so much just, just that sentiment analysis. Like those opportunities are there a lot. And those sentiments are changed. This is why I used to joke and put on my profile on X. I was the market sentiment expert. But it just felt like I was just too full of crap. Who the heck is an expert at telling what the market is saying? Well, I actually am. No one believes me unless you enjoy the show and you're a trader and you constantly cook with my constant freaking accuracy. I can't make this up, guys. I would be called out full of crap by now. But you know why people don't? Because they know it's like, damn, we may not, you could love me or hate me, but one thing you will get to is a healthy respect for my knowledge of the charts. And that's all that matters. This is what we're here for. Given I give y'all some good music at times with these Suno playlists, baby. You know what I'm saying? We've been cooking on the back, playing some good music. But guys, unless there's any other market sentiment or questions, we're gonna wrap it up. What up, SA?
Hey, Clutch, before we go, I do want to remind everybody it's Wednesday. So tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm hosting my weekly poker tournament on ACR, America's Card Room. It's a $1 buy-in, $500 guarantee. I think Clutch took fourth place last weekend and won like 40, 50 bucks, something crazy like that. So you can come in for $1 and, 40, 50, 200 extra money in that prize pool. So I'm going to make a post about it here in a bit, but yeah, download ACR, use my referral code SAYLES, SAYLES, like my last name, deposit at least like 25 bucks so you can take advantage of their 100% deposit bonus. But yeah, we're going to be on there playing tonight and we'll be streaming some poker tonight, man. So I just want to remind everybody and get in the game with us. It's going to be fun.
Heck yeah. That's how we roll, baby. Anybody else? All right, guys. Well, this was Trade Talk powered by Novex Finance. You chose to come here for one reason and one reason only. The Novex logo. Look how good it looks. No, I'm just kidding. You come here for the market sentiment. And guys and girls, we're on top of these things. Not so you don't have to, but so you can have a guide and be plugged in. There's always money opportunities to make. And I want you to take advantage of those just for the betterment of your own life, So ultimately, there's a lot to learn and it might be scary. Absolutely. But one of the things that is the most rewarding when you put in, constant work is the crazy reality that those that make it in trading end up having an amazing financial future. So let's get you there. We're working on it for not just ourselves, but for many of us. So get in. It's all part of just having Novex on our mind, baby. We're going to wrap us up with a little song here and have a great rest of your day. Talk soon, guys. Peace.
Yeah. Top down, top down, top down. Sun low, sun low, sun low, sun low. Got that, got that, got that. Novex glow, yeah, yeah. Screens green, heart slow, heart slow, heart slow. Let the whole day roll, day roll, day roll. Early in the AM, coffee in the same cup, watch list loaded. Everything framed up, charts on chill. Moving like a slow jam, playing so clean, I don't even need a boast, man. Wrist tight, yeah, the downside light. Let the market do its thing. I ain't gotta fight, cause the rules in place like lanes on the freeway. Novex on the dash, I just ride how the beast sway. Trail stop set while I laugh with the homies. Alerts hit soft on my wrist like it know me. No chase, no race, just grace in the guideline. Platform do the heavy, I just live in the right mind. Novex on my mind, I'm cruising through the day so smooth. Money on the line, but I'm moving like I can't lose. Game stay up, line, got a plan so I can choose. Life plus grind, that's the groove I use. Novex on my mind, yeah. Used to let fear
head talk loud in the background. Jump in, jump out, every little tick down. Now I zoom way out, see the whole big frame, let the noise burn out. I don't play that game, I split win, stack small, let it grow in seasons. Loss come, noted down, walk off with a reason. Discipline drip like the chrome on the rim, shine step by step, turn the side hope to a real climb. Tell my people you can build while you breathe easy. From the phone or the home where the waves breeze. Tools in the hand, but the mind is the real wealth. Novex on the screen, put belief in your own self. Novex on my mind, I'm cruising through the day so smooth. Money on the line, but I'm moving like I can't lose. Game stay aligned, got a plan so I can choose. Life is grind, 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 grind. That's the groove I use. Novex on my mind, yeah. From the first little trade to the big time vision, from the late night doubts to the clear cut decisions. We just scale, stay patient, let the process talk. No vex in my hand, but my heart do the walk. Yeah, no vex on my mind. No vex on my mind.
Oh yeah, baby. Novex is always on our mind. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.